All right. Thank you for coming here to the Southwest Vermont Supervisory Union Central Office's Pride Flag Raising. My name is Katie West. I'm the Public Information Coordinator here for the SVSU. I love my job and I enjoy working mostly behind the scenes to help prepare our leaders and staff when speaking with the press or gathering information to keep our families informed and connected. This, standing here, isn't admittedly my jam. Sure, I'll take a spotlight every once in a while to talk about how dedicated our teachers are or how important it is for all families to update their contact information with the school. But standing here in front of you all talking about raising the pride flag, it's hard. Perhaps that's my own internalized homophobia. We all have it to a certain degree. I'm a proud lesbian, married for almost 5 beautiful years to my brilliant English teacher spouse, Chloe. Or perhaps it's because I, like all queer folks, have experienced discrimination based on my sexuality. Now, that's not to say I don't hold a lot of privilege. I'm white, cisgender, and straight passing in some regards. But newsflash here, being queer isn't just about pride parades and weekly brunch. Being part of the LGBTQ plus community comes with a heavy load to carry sometimes. Many folks are expected to self-advocate in ways that our straight neighbors just aren't. Some of it's simple. I'll have at least 2 conversations a week about how Chloe is my spouse, not my wife or my partner, words that just don't really feel comfortable to us. They're not bad, just not our words. Normal, annoying, not a heavy lift. But some of our own self-advocacy is emotional, triggering, or even politicized. This gesture of raising the pride flag was the idea of Superintendent Culkeen. He marched down to my office, which is located next to our equity coordinators, and he said, "We should raise the pride flag here at Central Office. Order the flag and plan it up." A task I was excited to take on, feeling seen and supported by my boss, an experience I have not had when working within other establishments. I'm thankful to be here with the SVSU. I've been closeted when working at other jobs, felt shuttered and scared, hidden with my own straight passing privilege. By Superintendent Culkeen embracing our year of equity, saying that all LGBTQ members of our school community have the support of the SVSU, I feel encouraged and eager for real change to happen here. Of course, this is where we start. There is language that can change with our policies and procedures carried out in our schools that can further change and evolve and adapt to support our students. But first, let's celebrate this moment of joy. We are here to physically raise the flag and symbolically say that all are welcome here. I do want to note that the inclusivity we are promoting here today is always one of intersectionality. Our trans and gender nonconforming community members are just as welcome as are people of color. Inclusivity and equity are nothing without true intersectionality. Again, thank you all for coming today. Thank you to our other speakers, Superintendent Jen Culkeen, who is reading remarks from Mount Anthony Union High School senior Brady Hudson, who was unable to attend today due to illness. I know he was very excited and put a lot of thought into the words that Jen will share with us. Regardless, thank you to our other 2 speakers, Jess Bouchard, a community member and board president of Queer Connect, and of course, Superintendent James Culkeen. Now, I've said my piece, so at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Superintendent Jen Culkeen.
Good afternoon. I'm the other Superintendent Culkeen. I would say better, but I'm just teasing. The Superintendent Culkeen. I am actually honored to be asked to share the profoundly personal words of a student with you. Harvey Milk says, "Hope will never be silent." Hello, everyone. My name is Brady Hudson, and I am a gay senior at Mount Anthony. Today we are here to celebrate a very big moment for the district's LGBTQ+ community. This is a moment that shows queer students and staff that they are supported. In recent years, our world has shifted. It has shifted into a place where many people have begun to come to terms with their sexuality and their gender fluidity. As these changes are on the rise, the kids of the district need as much support as they can get. Yes, to someone who does not seem to care much, this may just look like a colorful flag, but to the students who are struggling with who they are, this is a very important moment. That in this district, they are accepted for who they are. That in this district, they can be who they want to be without any shame in it. We live in a world where it is very hard for queer members of society to accept who they are. Being a young student amplifies that point to the max. When students are younger, everyone just wants to fit in, and being queer makes that harder. I will always remember how I always felt in middle school. I constantly had this feeling like I was weird or an outsider because I never really fit in with the boys. This was a lonely feeling because I was too young to understand that I did not need to fit in with the boys to be happy. I just needed to be me. Now that these students will hear about and see this flag, it gives them a feeling of acceptance. It lets them know that they are not alone through the journey of sexuality and gender. I want to personally thank the district for representing the community and putting this flag up. Thank you, everyone. And thank you to Superintendent Culkeen and Katie West for letting me read these profound words. Next, I would like to introduce Jess Bouchard, a community member and the board president of Queer Connect.
My name is Jess Bouchard, as you mentioned. I'm a local teacher, the board president for Queer Connect, a mom, a wife, and a member of the LGBTQIA community. Today is a very special and historical day. I use historical intentionally because raising the flag is monumental, even in 2021, especially during October, which just happened, which is LGBT History Month. This matters. When I look around our community, I can't count on my hand how many pride flags exist in this community at all. In June, the last 3 years, Queer Connect has worked closely with the town to raise various pride flags down along Main Street during Pride Month, but those flags come down just as soon as they go up. Raising the flag, this progressive pride flag tells a story. The story that I recognize is inclusion, support, leadership, validation, allyship, and for me, celebration. That SVSU believes in intersectionality and that it matters. It's a form of welcome. When I see that flag dancing in the wind, I will remember this day. I'll remember the promise that flag represents. I'd like to spend a moment talking a little more personally. First, I'd like to remember myself as a student. In the early 2000s, I was the only out student in my high school, and I was not out by choice. I was forced out by my guidance counselor who told my parents without my permission. There were no out adults in my building, and I saw zero representation or inclusion. As the only queer person, it was a very lonely experience in high school. I needed trusted adults and peers by my side. This leads me to share that I became a teacher for this exact reason. I actually started to be an orthodontist before an educator. I just entered my 13th year of teaching, and my personal mission is to be the teacher that I needed. It is my heart mission to be the trusted adult that I know students need in order to be successful in school and in their lives. As a community member, I came to Queer Connect to find more support and inclusion in my adult life. Again, I live in a community where I often feel misrepresented with a lack of resources. I wanted to make sure that I sat on this board so that I too could live my best life. Our mission at Queer Connect is to provide visibility and resources for the LGBTQIA community. And right now, I'm very proud of SVSU for matching our efforts. And now, as a mom, I am a mother of 2 young girls. My girls have 2 moms. Tolerance, love, and inclusion starts even before birth. I'm so grateful that our medical supports here in Bennington, because my daughters were born into really excellent care from professionals that believe strongly in inclusive and affirming practices. My daughters are now a part of the SVSU school system, and I need their teachers, their peers, their community to be supportive, tolerant, and loving. To remind my daughters that they do not have a unique family because they have 2 moms. Rather, they have a family like all other families. My daughters need to see flags flying high like this one. They need to know their school 100% cares about their lives. Today matters. Today is a very big day. Today is a historical day, and I am grateful to be in this space with all of you who recognize this moment of necessity. This flag is one step towards unity. May we continue to raise tolerant youth who practice empathy, love, and kindness so they grow up to be the adults we all need to see in ourselves. I would love to introduce Supervisor James Colkeen to come and speak with you all as well. Thank you.
If I had any doubt that we should be here today, it ended with the previous speakers. And I thank you for sharing your experiences with us. Katie told the story about how this started. She left out that it instantly caused a debate of what flag we should fly, because how did I know that there is more than one? But my wife and I fly a flag at our home, and that's where the inspiration came from me. If I'm flying it at home, why aren't we flying it here? I want to thank you all for attending this important event this afternoon. Working with Jonathan Phipps, the SVSU Equity Coordinator, who wasn't able to be here today. I believe he has jury duty. And the SVSU Communication Coordinator, Katie West. They really cemented for me the importance of raising these flags, and as I just said, so didn't the speakers here today. Particularly the words of our student who wasn't able to join us. I want to thank them for their guidance and their influence. I also want to thank Assistant Superintendent Laura Boudreau, who allows me, her hard work allows me to do my work. And it's a true partnership, and I know that she would be here with these same thought and words, so I thank you too. I apologize that we missed October, which is LGBTQ plus History Month. We were supposed to be here last week, but the prediction of rain and strong winds resulted in us pushing it back. My hope is that this simple symbol of the LGBTQ plus shows that staff and students have the support of the Southwest Vermont Supervisory Union, because they unequivocally do. And this is just the beginning. It's the raising of a symbol, but we don't stop here. The theme for the SVSU this year is equity, and we are committed to acting on that. And Katie, I'm going to thank you for some of these comments. According to a 2018 survey by the Human Rights Campaign, provided to me by Communication Coordinator West, 46% of LGBTQ plus employees are closeted at work. I pledge that we want staff to feel comfortable in their workplaces, in our workplaces, because Staff feeling comfortable in their environment allows our students to feel supported in theirs. We have the goal of encouraging unity within our schools. We are pledged to supporting all identities and promote intersectionalism. Public education is an essential institution, but public education must be an institution that embraces and includes all. Thank you, and at this time I ask that you all come up and join in as we raise 2 flags today, and we are going to, because Jonathan, Katie, and I could not decide which we were going to do, they both were strong advocates for theirs. So we're going to raise both. We will leave one up and then start a rotation. And as I said, we're not done yet as we move forward in our year of equity, which really should be a life of equity. Thank you. Please come forward.
You work the
Laura?
pulleys.
Want to help Katie? One more volunteer. I want to make sure the American flag doesn't touch the ground while we're doing this. So I need an American flag holder. All right, why don't you go on that side? There we go. This is for the top of the flag.
Okay. I'll hold it.
Where's the bottom?
Right here.
There?
Yeah.
Oh, I pull it?
You get to
Oh
there you go.
boy.
Right.
Alright, got it.
We'll leave that for a few minutes. I think we should applaud that for you. Grab the American flag first. Thanks. This would be the top of the flag. The bottom.
Thanks.
That concludes everything. So thank you all for coming. We flag. How am I going to fly this one then? How often we rotate?
I don't know. We'll figure that out later.